calculate the missing length in a triangle, we use Pythagoras if we have two sides and we're working out the third side, and if not, we're going to use trigonometry. Start by drawing out the pyramids, the SOHCAHTOA pyramids. Now let's label the triangle up. The side opposite the angle in the question, the 35 degrees, is the opposite. The side in between the angle and the right angle is the adjacent. And the side opposite the right angle, the long side, is called the hypotenuse. Decide which two sides are relevant to this question. Well, on this question I want to know the length of AB, so I'm going to be working out the hypotenuse, and I know that 9.3 is the adjacent, so in this particular question the opposite is irrelevant, I can ignore it. Now we need to decide which of the pyramids, the SOHCAHTOA pyramids, are going to help me with this question. So the one that's got the adjacent and the hypotenuse is the middle one, so I'm going to be using this pyramid. Now because I want to know the hypotenuse, what I'll do is I'll cover the hypotenuse up and then I'll see what I've got left. Well, here when I've covered the hypotenuse up, I can see I'm left with that the hypotenuse is calculated by putting the adjacent 9.3 and dividing this by cos of my angle, which is 35, and note I've put my angle in a bracket. Now on the calculator this gives me an answer of 11.35 centimetres. Is that reasonable? Well, the shorter side is 9.3, so it's got to be longer than that, so 11.35 seems like a very reasonable answer. And here for summary is that entire question again, along with the calculator display, which is shown on my calculator here on the bottom left, and also on the right hand side the 5 steps that I did. I labelled the sides, I decided which of the SOHCAHTOA pyramids to use, I covered up the part I wanted to find out, in this case it was the H, I wrote down the calculation, A divided by cos as shown up here, A divided by cos, 9.3 divided by cos of 35. I did it on my calculator and I wrote down the answer. Now I want to just show you one extra skill that we can use on trigonometry, and that's where we're working out the side of a missing angle. This works very similarly in that I start by labelling the sides. In this case this is my opposite, this is my adjacent, and this is my hypotenuse. In this question the hypotenuse has nothing to do with the question, but the adjacent and the opposite do. I'm trying to work out this angle here, angle X. Which of the pyramids has got adjacent and opposite in? Well, that's this one here, the tan pyramid. So I'm going to be using this one. Now, when I'm working at an angle, I cover up the tan, the cos, or the sin bit of the question. And I write down what I'm left with. Well, I had tan of x equals opposite, which is 4, divided by adjacent, which is 6. Now, to get rid of the tan, because I want to know what x is, I have to inverse. So I'm going to do x equals tan minus 1 of 4 over 6. And when I put that in my calculator, I get the answer of 33.7 degrees. I'll just check, is that a reasonable answer? Well, clearly from that diagram, which isn't to scale, I'm looking for an acute angle, so yes, I'm very happy that the answer 33.7 degrees is reasonable. Therefore, I'm confident with that answer. Okay, so going back to working out the missing length using the instructions previously given, have a go at working out the missing length of this right angle triangle, and pause now before the answer appears. Okay, so step 1, let's label the sides. Step 2, decide which two sides are relevant. Step 3, decide which of the SOHCAHTOA pyramids, shown here at the bottom, you're going to use on this question. Step 4, cover up the part you want to find out. Now let's write down the calculation that we've been left with. And finally write down the answer given on the calculator. Always check to see if it's reasonable. Well, here the longer side shown is 5 centimetres, so an answer of 2.89 is definitely reasonable. I'm satisfied with that answer.